Ooh! Ladies and gentlemen, the time is 9 p.m. in my time zone anyways. And it's time to get started with Late Night Live number 42. 42 already. I can't believe we're on 42. That's pretty awesome. Hello. Today we are diving into monograms. What's going on, Marilyn? Welcome. Ooh, my camera is rather bright today. I didn't shave either. Whoopsies. Day off. Chill, slacking. We're having a chill day. Ooh, and the tea is delicious, but a little too hot to drink. All right. That works. I've been doing a lot of work on the computer today. My arm has been mousing all day long. And now I'm looking forward to just writing. What up, Ojaswini? How's it going? This is something that I guess actually Ojaswini's been asking for a long time. What's going on, Mom? Wow, 347. Is that one a day? Or do you do multiple a day, don't you? What up, Aravind? Welcome, welcome. How's the we haven't listened to jazz music in a while. How's the audio volume level sounding for you guys? Let me know if it's okay. Ooh, enjoy the Tomoe River, Maryland. Tomoe River is amazing paper. I don't use it a lot for Spencerian or heavily shaded work, but it is, as far as paper that feels good, it is tough to beat Tomoe River. It's kind of amazing. What just happened? Camera froze. Why did my camera freeze? Come back, camera! Please come back. Sorry about that, everybody. Give me 2 seconds. Not sure why that happened. Connect. What are you doing? I don't understand why that happened. Something froze. There we go. Just trying to make my camera less. It's so bright. There we go. A little bit more dim. We don't need to be dark. But it was a little too bright. This'll work. Alright. Now we won't touch that again, and hopefully it won't crash again. Alright, so, I don't know that I'd call it Zentangly. This is a monogram that I designed, I think, around the same time I took a monogram class with Bailey Rivera at Paper Ink Arts when I was there teaching with her and Skylar and Chin. And I don't remember if I designed this one then, or if I was just inspired by that class and then designed this. But it's a fun design. The original is right there. Not nearly as snazzy. The original is much more subdued. But this is our goal for tonight. Zoom in a little bit more on that. I know we've talked about it before. I'm pretty sure, I think Ojaswini was for certain here. I don't know who else was here that night, but I was doing some swirly designs, and that we kind of toyed at the idea of trying this one, but tonight is going to be a valid attempt. I'm going to treat it like a Sigsling and Sunday signature, essentially. I'm going to try to just map out where I was going when I designed this. This was not designed with smooth writing in mind. It's that's shown by the fact that it goes from horizontal ovals into circular shapes, and then into more circular shapes, and then this G and W is, I feel like, going to be one of the hardest parts, because this is a perfect example. When people talk about superscription or signature writing or signature design in general, we always want to connect all the capitals and whatnot. But I always say that the capitals don't have to be connected, they just sort of have to look like they're connected. They can just be overlapping in a way that looks like they're connected. And like you can see, the M is connected right here into, well, it's not actually connected to the W either. All three of these letters are not connected to each other, but they look like they are. Specifically, this W to the G. The exit stroke of this W fits perfectly parallel with the implied oval of the G, which will be really hard, I think. Writing order is going to be a challenge. I think I'm going to start with the M, and then from the M, I might go in this way, or indirect circle, not an oval, indirect circle into the W, and I think I'm going to stop here. I'm going to do this loop on the W, I'm going to stop, and then do the G, and then I'll have a better chance of fitting in that exit oval inside the W, rather than, inside the G, rather than trying to fit the G inside the W, because that's a much more difficult stroke. We'll see. But yeah, the other version is somewhat Celtic knot-ish, a little bit. This is the 3D. I'm honestly not super stoked on the way this, I mean, the 3D-ness is okay, the way how it's kind of floating over the page, but these lines are super thick. That's the one issue with 3D-ifying Spencerian, is you end up losing a lot of the nice sort of contrast from the hairline to the shade, and we don't really have that as much here. Like this shade, it can only get so fat without having to take up a lot more space. So like this shape right here gets a little awkward ish. I could probably tweak it and make it look a little bit better than when I made this one, but yeah, we're gonna go for it. We'll see how it goes. I feel like that's your job on the late night lives, Ojaswini. You're the mic reminder of the things that I have said that I'm gonna potentially do one day. Yeah, that's the big thing too. Like the letters all fit really nice into each other. But yeah, like this, definitely Celtic knottish in there, and hitting all of those connections properly with movement will be easier said than done. I'm just realizing that Instagram totally did not post the link. It's kind of a hit and miss. I feel like it's 50-50 on Instagram when I post my stories and put the link and say swipe up for the YouTube link. Half the time the YouTube link doesn't actually get posted to my story, which is really annoying. There we go. That'll be your official title now, Ojaswini. I haven't busted out a section liner in a long time. I think I gotta put that on my to-do list soon. Maybe for my itinerant penman design. Try to line it. I don't want to make it 3D, but I can maybe make its background 3D. That could be cool. Oh, don't hurt your head, Marilyn. We're gonna be... Today is chill. Like I said, I've been working at the computer all day long for the past 2 days, solid. So my eyes are a bit buggy. My arm is a bit tired from mousing, dragging and dropping and clicking all day long, archiving files and whatnot. Yeah, Instagram doesn't like posting the links. Sometimes they work. They've been working pretty the past few weeks have been working pretty solid, but today's didn't work. And I always make a point of I preview the link before I click go, and that, in theory, I thought that was solving my problem because it's been working, but today, not so much. Ooh, I'm running out of ink. I'm gonna have to mix ink one of these days too. Alright, let's get warmed up here first. Digital housekeeping. Well, this one, I've actually been archiving all of the American Penman and Western Penman magazines. Most people know that I pulled all of the Business Educator magazines off of archive.org, and then I compiled a bunch, if not, I don't think all, but a lot of the ornamental penmanship lessons that are inside them. And I've always wanted to do that as well with the American Penman and Western Penman that are on the Scranton University's website. But the way they have their download set up, the only way to get like a whole volume, which is like hundreds of pages, each volume is about 400, 500 pages. In order to get a whole volume, the only way to do that is to go use the print function and print to file. And that'll print to a PDF. But that quality is so much worse, and you can download the full quality image of each page, but you can only do it individual pages. And there are, of the American and Western Penmen, there are well over 20,000 pages probably, or at least in that archive. They're not all just American Penmen and Western Penmen, but in the Scranton archive, I know yesterday I downloaded 26,000 images, equaling about 15 gigabytes of data, of pictures, scans, of documents, and most of the magazines. So today was sorting those, organizing them, and then starting to compile them into large, proper quality PDFs of each volume, which is just very time consuming. Luckily, I'm a computer nerd and I was able to get batch processing for some of it, but it's still, I mean, epically time consuming venture. But I figure nobody else is likely to do it, and I want to do it for myself, so I will do it. These PDFs, I'm not going to have them available. They're not going to be downloadable from my website because each PDF in its full quality is, I mean, the PDFs themselves are almost a gig once each volume is compiled. So they're too big. But now that I have the archive, I use the PDFs for my own skimming through and looking for the articles. And then when I find the good articles, I can make the individual smaller PDFs of specialized topics like I did with the Business Educator, and those files will be available on the Discord, and I'll post and talk about them when/if the day comes that I pull them. I will, not if. The day will come. I just gotta get everything organized first. Because I really haven't looked at the American Penman or Western Penman very much at all, which is surprising. There's a lot of good work in them, but I was always annoyed with the inability to scroll through the high quality PDFs, and I like doing that on my computer, and I like looking through for like specific things. And because I couldn't really do that, and there was no easy way to archive the whole thing, or any easy way I could find anyways, I just didn't do it. But now I have them, and I have no excuses, and I'm looking forward to going through. So there'll be a lot of stuff in there that I don't think I've seen before. Very much anyways. Geek Life. Alright. Just getting warm. warmed up. Haven't done any writing yet today. But the arm is feeling somewhat obedient today. Yep, I got the, I downloaded everything. I don't remember when the American Penman started. I believe 18, I can't remember the year. So far, I have compiled and organized just the American Penman, which it was first called the Western Penman, and then it was changed into the American Penman in the early 1900s. I think it volume 23 or something like that. It made the change to American Penman. So far, I've organized all of the American Penman, and I've started compiling the large PDFs. But each one, even just when I put all the images in Acrobat to make the PDF itself takes 15 minutes just to compile. What's going on, Daniel? Yeah, I started 16 minutes ago now. You didn't miss anything. I've just been talking about my nerdiness over the past couple days with the American and Western Penman, and I'm starting to warm up my hand to get ready for the monogram. It's definitely the earliest you've ever been, that's true. We're gonna keep it chill today. Haven't used the jazz playlist in a while. My desk feels more wobbly than normal today, but that's okay. Well, this playlist might... Ooh, these are nice stems so far. Let me zoom in a little bit more for you guys. No, in order to fix the desk, I have to send it away to a restoration person. And if I did, I wouldn't have it for probably a few weeks, or a couple weeks at least. I was looking into... I found somebody that I can send it to, and I was going to look for some other potential options as well, but I haven't yet. I just got sidetracked. So it is still wobbly. I normally don't notice it, but today it feels rather wobbly today. Okay, what shades do we need? Luckily, we're pretty much only doing stem shades today. One that continues on the G. If I can do the G, just like that, we'll be in good shape. Yes, that's very true. I don't have a dining table, actually. I eat and do everything at this tiny little desk of mine. I've had some people who have been very surprised when they realize how small my desk is. But it is a very tiny little thing. I have a cutting table, which is rather big, but it's too high and on wheels, and that's just used for leather cutting and storage. Documents and stuff for current projects are set on that piece. If I ever get my act together, I hope to be building a wood carving desk to go on the other side of the apartment. so that I don't get wood shavings and stuff all over this one when I'm working. I mean, dinner tables work fine. If there's space on them, any table, as long as you got a chair that's the right height or a cushion for your chair, any surface is good. I've written on many a dinner table. Okay, there are some really unusual entries in this monogram. That's good. Versatile drawing board. Can go anywhere. Okay. This is my baseline. Full size. I don't know if I can do this in forearm motion or not. Okay, if that's there. And that is to go there. That's where I have to transition to round. And then this is the weirdest stroke of the whole thing. Because I can't do it in forearm. I gotta go whole arm, reversed oval. And follow this line. Parallel. Oh, I wish I could do it this way, but I guess I could do a shade and then do this. I could cheat it, but that does feel a little bit like cheating. Oh, I did this the wrong loop. There we go, it's supposed to go in there. And shade that in there. And then we would do that stroke. My music is a little too loud in my ear. There we go. Then from there, like I said, I think I would do the G. Try to match the size of the M. Oh, there's an accent shade on the G. I just realized that. Okay, we do that. And then we'll do that exit stroke. Okay, so I really have to tuck in. This little guy has to be small. Right. More space on top and less space on the bottom. So that this can come around and be there. And then we're good. This might not be as hard. I mean, it's gonna be extremely hard. I think this is more difficult than any of the Sixling and Sunday challenges we did. But in theory, it feels relatively manageable, I think. Sorry for this hardcore shadow of my right hand today. Okay. Oh, so this has to go and fit right in there. Okay. I forgot the loop. Do I still modify the Hunt 101? I do, very lightly though. It all really depends on the specific Hunt 101. It seems like sort of every one you pull out of the box is slightly different. This one, I just started it, not yesterday, the day before yesterday, and it really didn't require anything. It's not sharpened, but I went straight to the to my finest. I think this is the 12,000 one, 12,000 grit micro mesh, which just feels like rubber essentially. And I just gave it a little bit of smoothing treatment. I honestly don't know if it made that big of a difference. I wrote with it right out of the box, and it was great. The line, I gave a pretty thin hairline. The hairline could be slightly finer, but I've been using a lot of different papers lately, so I'm not mad at having not the craziest, finest line ever. But yeah, I still modify them to keep them in good working or good writing order, or to write the way I want them to. I've been doing a lot of comparing lately, comparing the Zenarian Fine Writer with the Hunt 101. So I took this Hunt 101 and I looked at it under the loupe. What up, Mohamed? And then I looked at this Zenarian Fine Writer, which is my favorite nib pretty much of all time, I would say, I think. I would look at that underneath the loupe and sort of compare them, and they're very minor differences. If you're working on a good 101. So basically I just try to get the 101 to match even closer if I can, if I feel like it'll benefit the writing. But if the nib is working good for me, I'll just leave it the way it is and not worry about comparing. Okay, that's what we want. We want those. That's the spacing. All right. We can do that. That's too long, Marilyn. The metal will be tired by now if you've been shading with it for that long. Gotta get a new one. Even if you're using like good inks like walnut and stuff, the metal just gets fatigued if it's been shading a lot. Okay. Maybe that G won't be as hard as I thought. I have not tried the new batch of 303s yet. I haven't bought 303s in years, so I have no idea what the current selection is like at all. Okay, there's our entry. Now we have accidental little loop in that M, but that's alright. I like the way it looks. Okay, now this is the weird stroke. Ooh, I gotta remember where my baseline is when I do that one. That one's really weird feeling. But so far, it could be a little bit closer in here, but connections are decent. Definitely ran my finger through the hairline there. So we're learning. Now we'll put this loop on the W. And then we will do the G. Yeah, I messed it all up with the W going way below the baseline like that, but So these all have to travel more to the right. If I'm going to be able to fit the G, I have to drop the G below the baseline on this one to make it work. And then this would go to drop it below, and that's a ugly oval. But that's the idea. Yeah, the Hunt one, it's a little bit slower. The biggest thing for me, honestly, is just the tine alignment out of the factory. The tines are slightly miscut a lot of the time. Quality control, not quality control, just the way they're slit. There'll be one tine will be slightly thicker than the other one, which isn't hard to grind down the slightly thicker one, and then they're essentially they're the same. If the thinner one isn't too thin, then you can get a really nice fine nib out of one. I mean, I'm one of the worst people to ask about when it comes to the whole modern vintage nib thing, because I have used all of the vintage nibs and the different makes and the different models and the different runs of them, and I honestly, and I'm in the minority when I say this, but I don't feel as much of a difference as people seem to discuss. I don't. There are a lot of modern nibs and runs that are not nearly as good or are much stiffer, like the 303s that I used after the really good batch that I got, or I don't know if the current Leonard Principles are as stiff, but there was, for a while, the Leonard Principles were really stiff. But I have modern nibs that work. In my opinion, they're as good for me as the vintage ones. Could they be better? Yeah, they could always be better, but splitting hairs. I don't think any of us do work that good that really shows the difference, to be honest. Unfortunately, maybe one day. Whoa, that's not nearly big enough. This has to go all the way over there. So that is, I mean, obviously, with the exception of the crazy scribbles in the middle, that one's decent. Tomoe River will definitely feel like that. See, Daniel, that's I've used the 604AFs, and I'll be honest, they don't make me super excited. They're a great nib. I mean, I really like using them as well, but I don't use them and go, oh, this is amazing. And this is probably just me, but I don't feel as big of a difference. Are they better? Yes, they are undeniably better. They are they do give a nicer quality of line, and they do feel a little bit more refined, but it's not that big of a deal, in my opinion. Would I like for companies like William Mitchell or for Speedball for the Hunt nibs, or I can't remember who makes the Principality now. Doesn't matter. Anyways, would I love if those factories tweaked their machining or tooling or something to get those old nibs back? Yes, that would be like absolute magic. But Maybe, like I said, maybe we'll get there one day if we can make ornamental penmanship popular enough. Then it will be a more sort of valid enterprise for big companies. Because right now, there's the funds required don't match their earnings or their potential profit for making those tweaks. Manuscript, there we go, yeah. Thank you, Otiswinny. So weird doing a circular exit stroke. And then I have never done a reversed circular entry stroke before. Ugh, that is just ugly, yeah. I gotta do that in whole arm. Shoot, I'm pretty sure the rest of it I can do in forearm movement. That's not, I mean, aside from this outside line and this loop into this shade, the rest of it works. This is surprisingly, I mean, even right now, that's ugly, but it's surprisingly a lot closer than I thought it was going to get. Do it. Do it, Daniel. That's a good plan. I think of current modern nibs, the Hunt 101 is so close. Like slight tweaking, refining, maybe materials. I don't know. But the Hunt 101 is already so close. I would love for Speedball to do a like Hunt 101 Plus or like Hunt 101 Pro model, which sounds ridiculous, but just like it could be a little bit more expensive. I'm okay with that. Than the standard ones, but because it is close. Curvature's a little different, and the point is a little bit different, but it's not far off. Because I quite like the springiness. I know it's a little bit slower, but I like the feel of the Hunt 101. I mean, that works really well for my hand. But I'm not super picky about that stuff. Okay, I gotta figure out how to do this reversed oval stroke better. I gotta do that whole arm. Nope. And I gotta keep my fingers out of it every time. That's an annoying problem to have. You see what my brain decided to do? We'll cut in here and just do a standard stem, because that's what we want to naturally do. Funny. You can see when things go on autopilot. What up, Giancarlo? How's it going? Gold wouldn't be springy enough. I'm super curious about like composite materials, like new age, like can we mold some kind of carbon fiber nib? I'm just curious. Is that even possible? I don't see why not. We can make everything else out of so many different materials. I feel like there is some modern material that we're not exploring just because the art is so old. We're using the old techniques, but in the new world, we use such crazy, complicated composite materials for so many things. There's guaranteed something out there. Yeah, it has to be a spring steel, of like the old materials, spring steel or something new, like spring steel impregnated with something. The standards, like aluminum, gold, gold's too expensive for one thing, and also it's not springy enough, it's too soft. But there's something out there. We just have to, it's a matter of convincing companies that it is worth the R&D to figure it out. And really, calligraphy doesn't make them that much money, I don't think. So, from a company standpoint, I get it. Why? What they're creating does a great job already for what we need. What up, Jagruti? That's how I feel, Marilyn. If I ever win the lottery, make it happen. Okay, I still went through. That was definitely the right idea. That was the right movement. Decent shape. I just gotta get my finger out of the way. I might have to do a wrist rest and tuck my fingers in for that one stroke, maybe, which I don't really like doing all that much because it feels weird. But because the movement is coming from my arm and not anything with my hand or wrist or anything, that should, in theory, not make that big of a difference. Getting this bump at the very top. Maybe if I start with a circular warm-up oval. It'd be cool too. There's also the possibility, I think Chin has talked about this in the past. In late nights of hanging out and dreaming about what could be awesome. I don't think it's practical for production, but it'd be cool to get a 3D printed, and not so much 3D printed, but like CNC, like milled out nib, CNC'd to complete perfection. Like if you see those videos where they take the two pieces of metal and they're able to sync them together perfect, if we can do that, and people are just doing those for fun to show what they can do with their machining tools, then we can easily make a nib that is better than the vintage nibs, out of, in my brain, a composite new modern material that is also better than the spring steel that they had in the late 1800s, which, yeah, it doesn't make sense to me that we can't beat that. The excuse is always quality control. We can't have factories of people checking each one. Yep, but that's because we're still using the vintage tools, the vintage machine and the vintage techniques to make the nibs. If those techniques were made modern, that step wouldn't be as required. The machines can do that quality control. Yeah, that's like laser, all that. The whole nib could be laser cut, and then, yeah. It's the tooling that we use, or that is being used, to my knowledge anyways. I haven't been to the factories to actually say this, so everything I'm saying is just guesswork. But it would be, I feel like it's possible. And I don't feel like any of the classic arguments hold anymore. Other than financial. That's the valid one. Ugh, ugly ovals, but we'll keep going anyways, because our main focus is that large round stroke. Not long enough. But let's see what we can do here. Tuck our finger in. Glide the wrist. A little shaky, but that's the idea. My W and my M are very far apart. Looking. Not a huge fan of this little loop in the penmanship version. I mean, I've said that before too. If the people who make the Nico G were driven to make something like a Leonard or like a Jalop Principality, they'd be able to do it. The machining would be there. I would love to see all of the machines that every factory is using, but unfortunately, I don't have enough clout to get into those factories. I don't know the right people. Ugh. That one's so hit or miss. Got it closer though, maybe a little too close. I'm not even on a baseline, but that's okay. This one's just kind of drunk. The idea is there, ladies and gentlemen. It is possible. I can do this. Can I do it now or today? Maybe not. But I can do it. It's in my grasp, reach. Well, that's Daniel. My whole argument always for that is if they could find like a composite material, I would be willing to spend more for a nib if it wasn't going to wear out as fast. Like the reason that I always am battling about the price of nibs and stuff like that and refuse to pay a lot for them is because they wear out. They're garbage. For me, if I'm using really good ink, they're garbage after like a day, if that, if I'm writing a lot. But if a nib was some kind of material that could withstand that, could withstand, or it doesn't have to be, it can still be disposable, but maybe it lasts a little bit longer. Like a Bic pen, you don't write with it once and then throw it away. It works. I mean, those things work for like months if you use them all the time before they run out of ink. So something like that, if it lasted a little longer, I would pay more because I wouldn't have to buy 100 of them at a time. I could buy 20 of them at a time or something like that. I would love to not have to stock up on hundreds of nibs every time I buy nibs. Just due to storage. Yeah, unfortunately, Marilyn, gold is not the answer. It's way too expensive, and it doesn't have the qualities required to do the kind of work that we would need it to do. Which is, I mean, a very big reason why fountain pens aren't really the best for Spencerian work. I mean, they're not suitable for it at all, really. Technically. Maybe I need to write smaller today to make this stroke easier. These examples, they're laughable, but they're not that bad. Our view count, our viewers this week is tiny. What's going on, Tony? We got way less people than we normally do in here today. I guess maybe I didn't post very much on Instagram this week. Did I post it all this week? No, I didn't. That's probably why. No, but the Maryland, like they'll flex a lot, but they don't spring back fast enough. They're just, I mean, trust me, I wish I've used the best gold nibs. They're not good for it, unfortunately. Thank you for popping in and saying hello, Tony. I appreciate that. I want loads. Loads. I want all the people. Okay. Not big enough. That's okay. Jeez, it is so hard to get that parallel line. I do think we're getting closer, though. All the people join the late night live cult. I guess I haven't really been online all that much this week. I've been on the Discord. I was bad on the Discord for a couple weeks there, but got things going there again, and there'll be more stuff going on there as I get these PDFs compiled and whatnot. But that's been taking most of my energy. That and foiling. I've got some blotter orders this week. That's fun, Marilyn. Now that the sun is coming out, you can e-bike around. Oh yeah, when's registration day? It's the 17th? 15th? I can't remember. Okay. $17th, okay. It should be a fun one this year. Haha, what up, Fozzie? I gotta say, better than I thought it was gonna be. We're not close to there yet. But it doesn't feel hopeless. It feels attainable. It's still very far away, and I'm still reaching in vain. But I feel like my reaches are getting closer and closer. Maybe. It's just one stroke is really stressing me out. I can't figure out, not stressing me out, I'm not stressed out, but one stroke is giving me problems. Yep, it's a yearly, you pay yearly dues to be a member of Iampath, which I forgot about. I pay my dues when I register for convention, so it's all kind of at once. So in my brain, there wasn't dues, it was just, I pay for convention, but there are dues. You join every year, or you join, be a part of the group, part of the family, part of the association. Only one sheet of paper so far. We're just starting page 2. I've been going very slow. I've been chatty and slow today. But I'm pretty sure we're gonna get decently close with this one. I feel like this song is played like 7 times today. This playlist is not nearly big enough. Oh, we got an airline there for our first hairline. It's this one. This next stroke is the one that I just can't do it. Because it requires, I have to lift my pinkies up, or my little finger and my next finger off the paper, because they drag through. So I have to lift them up and put the heel of my hand on the page. So that's what I'm using instead of my fingers, which is bizarre. But then it's also a indirect oval, which is weird. But it's not also an oval, it's a circle, which is weird. I'm not good at spiraling indirect ovals. Or being parallel. So they're a little, they get like that. They're hit and miss. I could probably do that one the other way. Oh, I forgot the little loop. Whoops, oh well. And then the G, which I thought was going to be the hardest part. Actually isn't that bad. I do want to make sure, okay, these are crossing with that. I got that connection. This is going through all of these points. Okay. This is there with the 3 crosses? Yeah, with 3 crosses through it. That's good. This is up there with that through it, so that's good. We got these 4, so that's all in the right connection. This line should really be like over here, should be closer. But anyways, we have those 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. Wait, how do you get 6? Oh yeah, I lost my hairline. There's an entry hairline here that disappeared. Okay, so that's there. We got this one with the 2 crosses. We got this one with the 1 cross. Came around here. This goes like this is crossed all the T's and dotted all the I's. It's just that reverse or the reverse circle I can't do. It's tricky because it's round, but it's reverse. I don't think I've ever practiced making lines parallel going in reverse from out to in. Like normally when I do parallel lines, I feel like it's always sort of like you fit them inside. Or if you have an oval, you go around it this way. So you do your spirals, and if you spiral the other way, it's always in to out. It feels really weird. Well, because that doesn't feel weird. If that doesn't feel weird, this just feels so bizarre. Like my arm doesn't seem to have an idea where that circle is to go parallel. Maybe I just have to... I mean, my writing is never going to be as round as the design because I seem to design... I mean, I design things very round compared to how I write. But maybe I can do this. Oh, that feels weird. This is a little big. Yeah, like it has to be, it's big enough that I can't do it with forearm. So yeah, if I drop my forearm, I'm at the range of my movement. I can almost get it, but it'll be wobbly on the outside, or it'll be a wonky circle. So I have to raise my forearm, curl my little fingers, or just lift them out of the way. There's no reason I shouldn't be able to do it. I just gotta get used to it. How cool would it be to just knock this out all the time? In my head today I was gonna do this and then like design other monograms, but I feel like I'm just gonna spend all day doing this. Sorry, I know that's probably not terribly exciting to watch. Or maybe it is. I don't know. Didn't drop quite low enough, that spiral, but that's okay. Maybe I have to do those whole arm as well, because I definitely hit. I need my forearm to be stretchier. What the? I totally wiped all the ink out there. It's that stroke. That is the one that makes it or breaks it. I need to practice going around. Once will be enough. I mean, it's like any signature. When you look at all the elaborate signatures and you think, oh, how could they, like, people wouldn't use these signatures all the time, but they totally would. C.P. Zahner's signature, he would put everywhere. I mean, when he was at his desk, so he could do proper shading and whatnot, but you get used to it, like a graffiti artist in their tag. When you do it hundreds and hundreds of times, okay, just the entrance. I can afford to slow down a little bit, I think. I'll make a circle and then force myself to make a parallel oval to it. This is janky in there, but we'll get there. It shouldn't be. It should be able to be smooth. that's the closest we've got so far. That was actually, I'd be very happy with that if the design turned out that way. My W and my G are a little far apart, which means I have to tuck this. That gets tucked. Oh yeah, that's right close. Super close. Okay. We're getting there, folks. Chiseling it. Chiseling it? Is that a word? Chiseling away at it. Chiseling. Chiseling, 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 chiseling. Thank you. Okay, I'm gonna do this stroke, whole arm, I think. Whoa! Ugh. Darn it. Just can't make the shapes. Yeah. Today's Late Night Live will be titled Hit and Miss, bracket, emphasis on the miss, bracket. Ugh. What goes on here? I mean, it's not terrible. The shade is terrible. I got too excited. Nope. Gotta make this little loop much closer to the G, right there. What up, coffee lover? Welcome. How is your evening, morning, day, afternoon? Thank you. We're working on this monogram. We'll see if we ever figure it out. It's getting closer, though, I think. What am I doing? Whoops. Went too far. It all just goes to poop when I have to make that oval or that circle. Grr. Grr, grr, grr. Morning coffee. Tea. I'm gonna change up the music, I think. Because I feel like this playlist is too short. So we'll go silence. I'm gonna go back to maybe this one. It's too loud. Hip Hop Chill. This playlist is called. We'll see if we like it or not. Feel free to tell me you don't like it if you don't like it. Okay, arm. Let's just write. I'm having a lot of trouble with my whole arm today. Raise my chair a little bit. We'll pretend that will fix everything. Could be worse. But we missed the connection in through here. We went way too far out to the left. The rest of it, though, that one was decent. That's stupid. I made it an oval. I didn't do circle. Because the lines are all smooth, relatively. Shades aren't the best. W went a little too low, but... What up, Jose? I'm going to try to shrink the whole thing a little bit, I think. What's the best way to practice ovals? Shaded or non-shaded? For letter forms or for flourishing? Which kind of oval specifically? Decent. Still went too far to the left. That's probably the closest one so far, I think. It's so close. Specifically Coffee Lover, what I'm trying to do, Coffee Lover, sorry. What I'm trying to do today is replicate a monogram that I wrote, or that I designed. I didn't write. I drew a number of years ago, this MGW or MWG. I think I designed this, I think it was 2017. Yeah, there's the super designed version of it. But I have never executed it. Like there's two designs that I really want to be able to execute with a pen instead of a drawing, and that's this monogram I really want to be able to do, and this signature, which I have attempted in one of my late night lives. This is the loopiest signature I've ever designed, and I don't usually design stuff for myself with my name or whatever, and I did this a while back. I don't remember what the reason was. I think I did this specifically for the Scripsit magazine, and was showing some signature design example. So I decided to do my name super loopy. I think that's when I did this one. But, so today I'm tackling this monogram, so I'm doing really large circles instead of ovals, which is really weird, because my arm is trained to do ovals most of the time, as you can see by all of these very ovoid shapes. That one was decent though. I actually messed it up pretty bad with the entry of the W or the G, getting it too close, but 2 seconds, I'll be right back and we will continue. But to answer your question, Coffee Lover, the best way to practice ovals, and that's why I asked which ovals specifically, because if you're doing, the best way to practice ovals for flourishing, which are usually horizontal ovals, I always recommend, or my favorite way of getting those in your system, is to do fast ovals. Just movement ovals in groups of 10 or 20 over and over and over again, because it really gets it in your arm. If you're doing shading ovals, you can do those same things as well, but you have to do just that individual stroke with the shade, sort of one at a time, because when we're doing letters, we don't do the ovals this fast. When we do letters, we go quick, but not that quick. So it kind of depends what oval you're working on. For letter forms and with shades, you practice those individual strokes nice and smooth after doing warm-up ovals to get your muscles ready for the writing session. This song is fast. Oh, my phone just notified me of an event. I'm supposed to be working this week, but because of COVID, the event is canceled, so I'm not working it. Bummer. Okay, here we go. Back to work. I said I was going to try to start making it smaller, and I haven't been doing a very good job of that. My hair looks different. It's flat. My hair is nothing today. This is, if I come out of the shower and I let it dry, this is what blasé Mike hair looks like. With no product or styling in it. Ow. Okay, so far, not too bad. Oh, natural, yep. I went so crazy far out here. Why is that stroke so hard? It just feels awkward. It's not even hard, it just feels weird. Like it's a guessing game. I don't like guesswork. I talk about that a lot in my classes. Everything you do is intentional, nothing happens habitually, there's no guesswork, there's no, oh, hopefully I get this. We train it without getting it until we got it, and then every time after that, it essentially should be perfect. But I can't, this stroke just doesn't feel like I can get that comfortable with it. All in all, that monogram is passable. It's so far out to that side. It was on this first one I went so far out to the left side. This one I went too far out to the right side. One of these attempts I'll get it right in the middle. G's are my jam. Sometimes. Okay, here we go. We remembered to make things a little bit smaller this time. Let's chill out the size. If I can do this reversed oval small, or this reverse circle smaller, maybe I can do it with forearm. Maybe that'll make it easier. And also not drag my fingers through it. Maybe. Risk. Oh man, it just feels so bad. That's so disappointing. You know what that feels like? That moment, what just happened in my mind. So imagine you get like a imagine it's like night on the town, or you're going out, and you just go out and you buy like a nice suit or a new dress, and you do your hair and you do your makeup, and you're looking like $1 million. You're ready, you got your new shoes on, you're good. And you take one step and you like trip and fall and rip your shirt, and like you break, if you're in heels, you break the heel off your shoe. That's what that felt like. So you're going, you're ready, the movement feels good, and then the nib touches the paper, and it just collapses. Ugh, that's one of the most, they don't happen that bad for me. It's kind of like nib snaps, get me like that sometimes. When you're feeling really good and they come out of nowhere and they scare you, that's kind of what that was. Except that was like it's like a ghost. It's like, you're gonna mess up. Hey Mike, surprise. Hey Mike, you're surprise, mess up. Blah. That's what happened in my brain. And I did. Oh man, like the warm-up ovals were feeling so good, and then, man. happens. It's all part of the process. I can't do these types of things on Tomoe River. When I'm shading like this, the paper is so thin that the shades, the paper buckles. I can't use it for this type of work. I love Tomoe River, but whoa, James, if he's not here, unless he's here lurking, sometimes he's in here just lurking. He just made an Instagram post with some very pretty writing on it. Look at that. Look how beautiful that is. Like that, and we'll comment. Beautiful. And then we'll go heart emoji, heart emoji, heart emoji, post. There we go. James does some of the nicest work out there. Oh, that one was so... It was gonna be so good. I don't understand what happened. Smaller is definitely the way to go, though. I gotta keep this size. It also looks better. The lines are closer together. Okay, page number 2. Not too bad so far. 2 sheets. I should do an Instagram challenge. I'll try to record a video of one, and then it'll be like, who could beat me? Beat me. It's a challenge. Because there's people out there that I'm certain can do this better than I can. Maybe. Wonky ovals there, but that's okay. Gotta remember to stop that a little bit sooner. It's the start feels weird. You know what it is? It's the warm-up oval. Because I'm so like when you do ovals this way, like you start with like a warm-up oval and then you drop. But starting a stroke up at the top, I don't know that I've ever started a stroke there before. A reversed oval? I'm pretty sure that's what it is. I have to do a reverse oval, entry oval, or yeah, oval in the air. A warm-up oval. I have to get that feeling comfortable. Okay. We go stroke. I'm gonna unlock you one of these days, one of these moments. Black paper is pretty expensive. That's like, who has, I feel like Marcus Carlini and Bailey. Rivera always talk about sweaty hands when they're doing calligraphy. I'm so happy I don't seem to have that issue. Very often anyways. That would be very annoying. I feel for you, Fozzie. Ugly shade, but we're going with it. That's probably too small. Fully oval. That's okay. We'll get it. Not bad. Could be a whole heck of a lot worse. I do feel like we're getting closer, folks. Slowly but surely. Started that one with an airline. I mean, aside from that, kind of worked. Not perfect at all, but it's kind of all the things that I needed to do happened. I started this large oval because of my entry. I started it way over here instead of it's supposed to start right here. But the G, I got too excited going into this and had to not go into the W. And then I lost the hairline on the start of the M. To start, we're getting closer. Ooh, broad edge. Broad edge is a lot of fun. What script are you doing, Ojaswini? Jeez. When I try to control the shape of that thing, it just all goes down the drain. I mean, I could always make that. It doesn't have to be round. I want it to be round, but it can be an oval, technically. I can just make the ending of the M be oval, but I want it to be round. I like the way that it looks. Whoa, funky shape. Well, you'll have a long wait for Ghetto Anshul. Just learn real Anshul, because you should learn real Anshul before you do Ghetto Anshul. Just learn real Anshul and then do it without all the specifics. Boom, Ghetto Anshul. There you go. If you do real Anshul without trying, that's Ghetto Anshul. What is going on with that shape? If I make this an oval, no, because then the G, it has to be rounder. It goes way too far out to be able to, because it has to fit inside before the G. Yeah. It has to be circle. Blast. Nope, Uncial is not easy. I mean, broad pen in general, most of this, they're not easy until you, once you learn them, you can whip them out pretty easy, or most people that are good at them can do them relatively, I mean, they look easy when they do them. But I guess that's like anything when you get good at it. But they are very specific. I quite like broad edge. I need to do more of it. Because black letter is all straight lines. All these G's are like, come on guys, looking at the beginning. The G's are pulling their weight, the other letters are not so much. Mike Keswick's variations in general are pretty cool, I agree. I wholeheartedly agree with that statement. I've never taken his pointed pen variations class, and I should. I would like to. Conde. Whoops. Ugh. It just feels out of control. Whoops! I made a really pretty looped G, but I forgot that this W is supposed to be where the loop is. That'll work. Little rocky, but decent. I'll take it so far. This is the best one so far. I'll take it. Still, this second one is very oval compared to the inside one. I can't take a workshop right now. Not in the right frame of mind, unfortunately. I saw that he's teaching up soon. Too many things at the moment, unfortunately. That's the best one so far. They're getting closer. On average, those last two are both passable. Not amazing, but they're passable. My accent shade is outweighing my main shade though. I gotta chill that out a little bit. Ooh, that might not be far enough to the right. Nope. It's that stroke. Nope. How does that G? I guess it's just a really small G. That's good. I mean, that's a great thing to have in a calligraphy class. Nice and light and refreshing and chill. Whoops. Unfortunately, I don't think my classes are ever considered chill or refreshing by the students that take them, unfortunately. my classes are seen more afterwards. People are stressed out or their brains are gonna explode, which isn't really a good thing. Or they have students talking about metronomes of death and things like that. It's really just the hit and miss of that one stroke now. Oh, that was too big. No. Man. We were close. My brain wants to slow it down, but every time I slow down, I introduce some weirdo things that I don't like. What up, Chad? Today, I'm trying to do this monogram, MWG, or MGWard, that I designed a long time ago, but I've never done with actual writing. This is drawn, it's designed and drawn in pencil, and I've used it for pieces and stuff, but I've never actually been able to write it, so that's what today it's not the most exciting late night live. It's literally me just working on this one signature, similar to when we do like the Sig Sling and Sunday challenges and stuff. Just trying to get this monogram with movement writing. Is there an accent? Oh, there is an accent shade on the M. Ha! Whoops, I haven't been adding that, so I will start adding that. There's a little one there, yep. I've been ignoring that, but I will start adding it now. Yeah, like the design, the design that I'm going for was drawn, yeah. But now I'm trying to do it not drawing. I'm trying to do it with writing. Which is very difficult. It's really that start point. It is a challenge. We're chipping away at it. Whoops. Potbelly shade there. Ugh, not a very good M, but we'll keep going anyways to see what we can do here with this, because we have to practice this stroke. See, it just looks... That is infuriating. I gotta get that stroke better. So, what we do, let's take one of these previous papers. All the ink is dry. We just gotta get that movement. It just feels very foreign. It's an awkward stroke that I've never really done before. Round, starting from on top. Actually, what we should do, make our first round oval, and then we have to practice going parallel around the opposite direction. The starting point. I end up starting down here or over here. Getting it right at that top part. Can't seem to get it. And when I do, I get too close in there. It's a dizzy one today. That was not bad. There's the idea. That was almost, I mean, it's still a little bit of an oval, but that's what we need. Let's give that a happy face. Now, we can just make that an everything type of thing, or an every time type of thing. That would be great. Totally clips. Totally clips a heart. Turn around. Every now and then I get a little bit something and I never fall apart. Turn around. On tonight's Late Night Live, Mike loses his mind. Why listen to the original? This is just as good. Just rewind the video, really, and just play that part over and over again. It's basically the original. Same thing. Okay, so those 5, they're not perfect, but they're definitely passable and better than what I was doing before. So maybe that's working. Today is about training. We go from being really bad at something and hopefully get decently good at it in the span of a late night live. I mean, that's not a very good circle there, Mike, but it's definitely a step in the right direction, I would say. This is a hard monogram. Has anybody else tried this one today? You don't know the original? Turn around, bright eyes. Every now and then I fall apart. And I need you more tonight. And I need you more than ever. It's a good one. Sorry, I can't sing. It's on the top of my things Mike can't do list. Singing. Can't do it. No good. It happens, Marilyn. I've been there. I know that feeling. That one's close. Understandable, Fozzie, I feel you. Fozzie, what are EQ tests or EG tests that Ian's been doing? What is that? I don't know what that kind of test is. I see you posting about them on your stories, but I don't know what that is. I mean, chocolate makes everything better, Marilyn, so I'm okay with that. I like that diagnosis. What up, Hody? I didn't even see you join up. Nice to see you. Emotional quotient. What? What does that mean in a test? Famously measured by the marshmallow test. Oh, I know the marshmallow test. Okay. Got you. When you posted it, I didn't know if it was like a school test or what the heck you were talking about. Whoops. Whoops. Don't apologize. There's no rule that says you gotta be here. I'm just plugging away at this monogram today. But I'm glad you popped in. Busy on your book. I need to ask. Writing a book? Reading a book? What kind of book? Oh, just Winnie, that's not my focus right now. I will add that eventually. I'm very targeted at the moment. I'm not really thinking about the M at all. Everything except for that W is on autopilot. She's got her own book. Oh, nice! What am I doing? That's not supposed to be there. Ah, that's exciting. Congratulations. Bummer. Why'd I do that so big? This was supposed to go there. Wow. That's exciting, Hody. Very exciting. Pretty sure Fozzie's been telling me to write a copybook for years. I should. I really should. I imagine it is a little bit Hody. Yep, literally. Ever since I got home from my trip to the Philippines. Oh, that was so long ago now. How was that so long ago? I was actually thinking about, because on that whole trip, that was when I went to Bali and when I went to Boracay, and I was thinking about Boracay today when I was walking around, because I wear those flip-flops that I had there. I wear them in the house every day. And I was thinking about the sand in Boracay and how I missed the tropics. Bali was dope. I want to go back to Bali too. That whole trip was dope. Wait, is that how that's supposed to go? Yeah. Uh-oh. I'm losing my mind, folks. Darn it. W is too far away from the M, so the G can't get in close enough. Those fruit shakes with rum were nice. I walked a long way that night. I mean, I walked a long way every day, but that night, drinking those, walking down the beach in the shallows, that was cool. It was like pitch black out. What? I can't even remember. I'm going the wrong direction. That just means you had to order more for the walk. I don't know that I went to the bar. I don't think the bar was open in my hotel any of the days I was there. There was never anything going on in the hotel. I did a lot. I basically walked everywhere. I walked from, like, I would wake up and then I just walked along the beach. And then walked inland to the other beach that you're supposed to not walk to. But if you walk long enough, you get to the other beaches too, I learned. Oh, I kind of messed up the G on that one, darn it. Yeah, walking the shore was nice. It would be really fun to be there with other people. That is the one downside to most of my trips. When I go to beaches and things like that, I got Bali alone, Boracay alone. It would be cool to be in those places with other people. I mean, I have fun by myself, but it ends up being more just relaxing and not like crazy fun. What is going on with this little one piece of hair that wants to fall down? Yeah, it would be cooler. It would be cool with people. That was a sound effect from Street Fighter. Weird. Mm-hmm. It's been too long. Ugh. Okay. Fingers. That's why I get jealous of like Kahlo in Hong Kong, because she lives on Llama Island now. So her regular house life is like beach tropics life. Makes me jealous. Oh, some of these are so close, but they feel so far away. Good night, Marilyn. Some of them they're just so close. It's like, it's teasing me now, because it's to the point where I should be stopping attempting and just start hitting some. but that one stroke is still very risky. Like, pretty good, but not good enough, but pretty good. It's pretty decent. I need to take a break. These are probably the wrong type of personal challenges for the live, because it's not terribly exciting, I don't think. But this is, I know I make exclamations of but this is really fun. I'm really enjoying this. But it's also like, it's better than I kind of thought it was gonna be. Because it also tells me that soon, I'll be able to do this. I could maybe sign this. How cool would that be? Get comfortable enough doing this one to sign it? That'd be sweet. It's a tough one. I've been inspired to try to push myself a little bit lately. A little bit more. I don't actively push my training as much as I probably should. And I'm inspired lately to try to elevate a little bit more. Just gets so ovally. I mean, when it's bad, it doesn't look terrible. It still looks cool, but ugh. Take a break from this monogram for a sec. Take a break. I like when things like that happen. I mean, it was intentional, but it doesn't always line up nice. When the R can connect through twice. Whoops, I just wrote on it. Oh well. And the line from the B can cut that line twice. This is cool. And when it's a nice enough hairline and the forms are good, it doesn't pull any focus or make the R look too heavy, usually. This song is very repetitive. Ink, please. What's happening? I gotta mix new ink tomorrow. I'm at the bottom of my jar. That rarely happens. I think I'm gonna mix from scratch though, because I get asked so often what the ratio of crystals to water I use is, and I always tell people I have no actual idea, because I just keep adding more. But I think I'm gonna mix a jar from scratch. I'll pour this out, mix a jar, and then I'll slowly add this into it as that jar empties. I guess. I'll figure out the crystal to water walnut ink ratio that I like best anyways. Whoops. There's many times I wake up in the morning and come to my desk and go, ah, crap, and my ink has just been chilling. I do it with all inks, which is why, yeah, when people ask, what ratio do you like? I have no idea, because this jar hasn't been emptied and like cleaned out. It's been probably years now. No, yeah, maybe, since I've actually emptied this jar and haven't just added water and crystals to it. Can you do this with a G? Does it work? Kinda. Looks kinda like an S. Still looks like a G though, right? Weird. I mean, I have seen them do that. I've seen them do that with a descender before, but not finishing it like a standard one. Juicy G. I think one of my favorites is the one where you leave extra space in the top. So then when you do the shade, you can come through and do an extra spiral in there. I think that's my favorite of those G's. It is a decapitated S, of course. And of course, Fozzie would think of the decapitation part. I gotta get a little bit better at adding that accent shade on the top of the G though. And you can just keep looping that as many times as you want. If you make that first lower loop small enough, it just keeps spiraling. as so long as it fits, and then you get nice evenly spaced out spirals? Whoa, spirals, swirls. Silly. That one would almost have been cool, but I ruined it with that last one. Almost had a very clean, what's that, like 2mm unshaded twister? I think unshaded twisters or spirals are way easier than people think they are. In my opinion, anyways. They're impressive looking, but I don't think they're not that hard. When you add a shade, that's different. That changes everything, but. Oops, wasn't supposed to shade that. That one's maybe a little too small. Oh, I'm gonna go with it. It was not supposed to be a spiral. But maybe it works as a spiral. Oh. Do I like this spiral better than the original way? Huh. I might, you know. I feel like I would have. That's something I don't obviously remember. That was too long ago when I designed this. Would I have not thought of that? That G was very tiny. Because the problem is, I'm getting to the point, I'm making the W a little too small, and I'm making this center circle a little too small. So I need the G entry has to cut through both of these lines of the W, but this part has to be on the left of it, so it has to get through there and then out. So if it's up here where I would want the G to start, it can't possibly get to that second one. So it has to be like, there's a lot of, yeah, to hit all those little connections. There's a lot of things that have to be sort of thought about. Not thought about, I guess thought about in ahead of time. It's impossible to think about all that when you're going, but yeah. That part of the W, the interaction of the W and the G, makes it a little bit difficult. Ugh. Not the nicest shade there, but I think I'm gonna keep going with this spiral and see if I like the spiral M. I gotta make sure I'm tucking the W in nice and close. Whoops. So then now I can start it up at the right height. And still get that in there. So it's, yeah, without crossing the W. I kissed there, which is no good, but man. I could lower the baseline of the G, but then these spirals are already lower than the M spirals, and technically it should be, the whole thing should look like oval, oval, circle. So if I lower the G, it'll ruin that sort of that balance. Unfortunately. No, ow. No easy way out for this one. But yeah, the W needs to be, it's not the whole W, like the shade, the size of the shade and stuff is fine. It's just the exit of the M and the entry of the W has to be big enough that I can fit everything else in. But the W still has to be close enough to the M, otherwise it looks too far away. And then there's a lot of space between the M and the W. Yep, the circle of the W is the key to this entire monogram. It's the part that makes it impossible. Because it genuinely feels awkward. It's not a stroke you do. A round, a reverse circle. Starting at the top. Not like, normally we start to do the long axis of a oval, but we're starting right in the middle of a circle. It's a really, really weird place to touch down, and it's very foreign movement. Unfortunately. Not unfortunately, it's cool. I mean, it's one of the parts that makes that one going through a lot of paper today. Yeah, I just have to get used to doing that, oh, I like this song. That, circle stroke better. I can't tell though if I like the spiral of the M or a regular M better. See, like that's probably not big enough, unfortunately. I wimped out. I didn't even know you were still here, Mom. Sweet Dreams. I mean, lots of Kanan's signatures have. He definitely is the best in my opinion, and was the most natural to do the circular forms. He was really good at them. Nope. See, there was no way to get the entry oval of the W so low, and then the exit of the W can't. Not possible. Which is a shame. Pretty sure I've edited a blotter video to this song. I think. I have to go on a leather blotter editing streak. I feel like I have about 100 blotters filmed and not edited. I haven't been jazzed to jump into the editing software lately. That's probably a better size. Then I get into a dangerous place where I'm going to start running my fingers through it. If it gets too big, gotta find that happy medium. Messed up that shade, darn it. I got too excited. Nope. Ugh. I use Premiere, but lately I've been using DaVinci Resolve, which is a free software that a lot of people have been using. My computer goes relatively choppy. When I do slow motion stuff, I prefer doing slow motion on Premiere, but I prefer doing when I'm editing, because I match all my stuff to the music, all the slow-mo and the dancer comes out in me, all the cuts and all that go with the music. And when I do that, I find that I prefer the workflow of DaVinci Resolve. So I've been using that a lot lately. And it's free, which is great. I just don't like how it does slow motion audio as much as Premiere yet. So I don't do all of my videos on it yet. I probably will eventually, as I get more used to it. See, this is a good example. I mean, not a perfect parallel, but it's a good example of the W leaving a good amount of space now for the G. So I can go in there. That's probably the best one yet. I hate that parallel didn't work, but all the lines started and stopped in the right spots. The G got a little... Oh, I don't usually do this. Accent shade. Better shade of the G. Would have been better if I did those two things. I mean, free software is dope. And it's what a lot of YouTubers and a lot of like legit editing people use DaVinci. And there's obviously paid versions as well. But the free version is more than powerful enough for any editing that you would need for YouTube or Instagram or anything like that, I would imagine. Whoops. How does the G and W not be far away? I think that's because of the slant line. I'm writing, you can see my paper is at, or my guide sheet is 52 degrees, but I naturally don't write 52 degrees. I've been trying to straighten my writing lately. That's why I've converted all my guide sheets now are 52 instead of 48, because I naturally write about 48. But this, if everything is too slanted, it makes it really difficult. Like if this W was straighter, I could get the G a little bit, like a couple millimeters closer, and it would look better. So I gotta try to straighten it up a little bit more. Lost my hairline in the beginning there. Boo, shade. There, yeah, like if that's kept more 52 degrees, like it should be, then there's more room for the G. What up, Jesse? I have to make a new YouTube intro, and I don't remember. I learned After Effects a long time ago, but I have to relearn it or the equivalent in DaVinci Resolve to make a new intro thing for new YouTube videos, because I know I say it basically every week, but I do plan on posting some more real YouTube videos and not just live videos one of these days. Messed up that shade again, darn it. What am I realizing? It's so close. It's just inconsistent. Whoa, that'll be too big. Oops. Yep. They're all just slightly off enough to look like failed attempts. Not epic fails, just off enough. Boo. Too close. Two more attempts on this page. Boo, boo, boo. He's close. That might be as close as it's gonna get today. To let it marinate. Maybe I'll try to record an actual... Maybe I'll record a slow motion of it tomorrow if I can get it any better. For Super Slow Thursdays. Whoops. Drag my finger through. Movement-wise, that one wasn't terrible. Messed up the M. Glitchy. Glitchy! Some wackadoodle ovals. But I'll admit, we got closer than I kind of thought we would. I was somewhat expecting to give it a few shots, deem it impossible, and then move on to other things. I didn't really expect to do this same monogram for so long. But at that, the G looks great. Thanks. Yeah, the G's, I mean, today was a good exercise in G's. I think this one is probably the best of all of the ones today. The parallels aren't perfect. Like, the parallels on this one were much better. Which tells me if I can do it sometimes, but not other times, I just have to do it all good at one time. And we'll be laughing. But we're not there yet. Ooh! My body is stiff! Oh! Oh, Fozzie, my plants are growing crazy fast. Ernie and Bert are like... They haven't doubled in size, but they're getting close. They're growing really quickly. I like it. I mean, yeah, just Winnie, compared to last time I tried this, I should pull up a comparison, take a screenshot of that video, and post a comparison of today versus that day, because that's kind of how I thought today was gonna go. It's like yeah, that was hopeless. Is it your time to be a crybaby? I do believe it is. That's your other title. You have the job of reminding me what was on my to-do list, and then also to be the midnight crybaby. I have to fix my lights though. My regular studio lights, the app doesn't seem to know, like, that when the time changed, all the dates got messed up for somehow. It's set, and the time zone is set in the app, but my lights turn off at Monday midnight, so Sunday night. When I'm chilling Sunday night, at 8 p.m. if I'm chilling in the dark, if I'm watching a movie or something, the lights turn on at 8:30 p.m. and they turn off at midnight. So Monday. They got off a day, but I fixed it in the app, but the app hasn't recognized the difference. The black light is still correct, but the other two lights are in their own world. So I gotta figure out how to get them fixed. Oh, that's nice, Fozzie. That's good. Mash is growing quite well too. Though the two new leaves, Mash's two newest leaves have unfurled beautifully, and they're growing nice. Everybody's growing nice right now. Rasta needs to be repotted, I think, in the coming weeks. I gotta buy a slightly wider pot for him, but he's growing good. He's got some aerial roots coming out, so I might, once they get long enough, I might put in a tiny little pot and start a baby fern from it. I might get a little, not a cutting, but a new plant off there. Yeah, everybody's growing well. Anyways, enough plant talk. I'm gonna go stretch my body because I'm tight. Too much computer work over the past couple days. But that was fun. I mean, I enjoyed that a lot. I don't know if that was the most fun live to watch because it was just me struggling with reversed circles, which is the weirdest thing. If you want to try something really strange, try to do a reversed circle oval, reverse circle that's parallel to a direct circle. Do a direct circle and then do a reverse circle around it and try to make them parallel. That is a challenge. But thank you guys, as always, for hanging out with me on Tuesday night, keeping me company. It's been great. As always, if you got ideas or new ideas for future late night lives, drop them in the comments of this video. If you could do me a favor and click like on the video, that would be awesome. Subscribe if you're not subscribed already. And make sure that you are falling in love with the process. Tonight you got a full, how many hours? Couple hours demonstration of my process. This is a real process. If I wasn't filming, there would just be a lot more scribbles. But this is basically what you see. And yeah, thanks a lot, everybody. Fall in love with that process, and don't forget that life should be just a bit of silliness, really.